in the Sudan should have a system where information gets to them about things happening in that country where they are, so that they can take care of the citizens, the ones that they can account for, who enter the country legally. If they have been proactive enough, by now there will be no Nigerian left in Sudan. We won't have these issues of buses catching fire in the desert. We won't have these issues of drivers saying no, they will not move until they are being paid.
But then the plan, as elaborate as it sounds, after we spoke with NEMA, it says 376 Nigerians evacuees from Sudan received 100,000 naira each. Now, the figures are even conflicting because I got an audio from the Director Special Duties, but then the quality is really poor, so I couldn't play all of it. Where he said specifically they have 360 Nigerians who've arrived. If you look at other reports, you would hear 260 and then additional 90. And now you even hear 376. But let's focus on the 100,000 naira each given to them, data also provided for them, recharge cards, all these in efforts to see how they perhaps get a bit comfortable and try to reestablish contact with their family members. And we even heard the businessman Dangote saying how he's willing to support. How should the reintegration program look like? How would you assess what the government is doing and what it should look like?
Okay. The same problem we just talked about. Different data being issued. Who is giving us the appropriate data? Who are we supposed to say this data is the correct one? Our system is so, I don't understand, unorganized, whereby we have data from this person, we have data. What is the hierarchy? We're supposed to be speaking on this issue. Who are we supposed to back on to say whatever this person says? That's the stand of the government on this issue. You see, Nigerians have lost trust in the system, in governance. So when people say they've given these returnees 100,000, have we spoken to any of these returnees to say yes? Let's say they've actually done it. But a lot of Nigerians are still skeptical to say, are you sure? Because bet you me, a lot of things will still unfold. After this, you heard what happened during the COVID. Whenever there are integration processes, from the federal amnesty program, the Nigerian government did, till the one before COVID, what's that outbreak before COVID? Under Jonathan.
The Ebola outbreak.
Yeah, the Ebola crisis down here. There has always been crisis of when it comes to monetary compensation, when it comes to the issue of finance, there are always issues. So let's keep our fingers crossed to say maybe they got this one right. What is 100,000 naira in today Nigeria?
By standard, another question.
People are coming back not because they want to come back, but it's because there are crises happening in Sudan. So how can you integrate somebody who has lost literally everything in Sudan with 100,000 naira? What will that give the person? Would that be able to accommodate the person?
How long?
Let's say the person doesn't have a house. Would that be able to accommodate the person? Would that be able to pay flight? Or are they making arrangements? Okay, they drop them in Abuja or Lagos. The person's family are in Enugu or they are in somewhere. Will they be also transporting the person down to that place? What about the Nigerians that have never left Sudan? They were born there in Sudan. And they are not coming to the country because of crisis. How do they cope? Are all these things kept, arranged? They are supposed to have kept them in one place. And it is at that point, after orientation, the National Orientation Agency will step in informing them about, because there are a lot of people that are coming back that do not know how Nigeria works right now. Get you me? A lot of Nigerian Sudanese are coming back that do not know how the country works or how to even begin. So they need to have an reorientation on how the country works before you send them out. And where are you sending them out? Giving them money, the data they have where to go to. Some of them might not even have families here in Nigeria, or don't know where their family is.
All right, Mr. Dandyson.
So for me, I don't think the government has done enough, unless they give us more information.
All right, before we get back, before we go on with more question and conversation, let's open the phone lines first and hear from the listener. 0817-923-0009, 0817-923-0007. Those are the numbers to call, 0817-923-0009 and 0817-923-0007. The information we have so far with regards to the Nigerians returning, reports on the news is 376 Nigerian evacuees from Sudan. They've received about 100,000 naira each upon their arrival. They came in last night. I think at the time they came in, it was something around 11, thereabout, 10, 11, because at the time I was on a conversation with the NEMA director when that call came and they had to leave. The Minister for Humanitarian Affairs also at the International Airport in Abuja had said 25,000 naira worth of recharge cards and 1.5 gigabytes of data were also given to them. Another thing is the NEMA director special duties had said 360 Nigerians. That was the number he gave because he had to go to the airport this morning. Otherwise, he would have been here with us on the show. But he says 360. So now we have conflicting figures, because if you go and look at the report on the Vanguard, what you would hear is also quite different. It says here on the Vanguard about 260, an additional 90. Yes, 260 arrived at 11:40 p.m. Airpiece, and then another additional 90. We also had a report from the NAF that said about over 300 Nigerians were stranded and would be airlifted and arrived Nigeria as at yesterday. So now the figures, the numbers doesn't seem to tally, and it's everyone trying to understand exactly what is happening and how elaborate this plan is an information that we have not been given so far, as much as we've made quite a lot of efforts to get that information from the authorities. Mike is in Omagua. Good morning, Mike. All right, sadly, we lost that call from Mike. The WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. The numbers to call are 0817-923-0009 and 0817-923-0007. Those are the numbers to call. The crisis in Sudan, for so many, expected that the Nigerian government should have had some pre-information, should have been able to detect and have a plan already in place in case of a breakdown. But as it looks at the moment, many would say with what we have going on, there wasn't any plan already on ground. We had to start thinking of how to get buses. And okay, let's get back to Mike. Mike, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew.
Welcome.
Yeah, how are you?
Very fine, thank you. Go on.
Yeah, I want to contribute on what your guest said. Yeah, can you hear me?
Go on, Mike. We can hear you.
Okay. For him saying that the people, the returnees from Sudan. Can you hear me?
Go on, Mike. We can hear you. Just go ahead.
Okay. That the 100,000 which are given to them, that some of them cannot take it to their village because they don't know where they are from. How can somebody don't know where he's from in Nigeria? That's my question I want to ask him.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's listening. He's going to respond to that. Thank you very much, Mike. Remember that you can also send us messages on WhatsApp and on Facebook as well. So Twitter, it's Nigeria Info PH. On Facebook, it's Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On WhatsApp, it is 0809-030-6416. This message says, good morning, Andrew. Government has not done enough by educating its citizens on countries to travel to and the countries not to travel to without convincing reasons. And if anything happens to Nigerians in any country, the federal government should be able to act fast before things go wrong. Round face from Rume Kini. Which is the ultimate question. The expectations that government should be able to properly sensitize and educate its citizens as to countries around the world that are viable if you want to migrate and countries that you shouldn't consider going to for whatever reason. And if you must, this is the part of the country you have to go to, and this is how things are in that country. Well, do we have such programs or sensitizations ongoing in the country? Dandyson, I'm pretty sure you heard one of the guests asking, one of the callers asking, how possible is it for a person to not know where they are from? In as much as I might want to respond to that, I'll just like you to, if you want to say anything about it before we go on.
Okay, nice question from that caller. It is very possible. It is very, very possible. Even here in Nigeria, not even people that are outside the country, have met people who do not know where they are from. They've never been there before. Sometimes they might have even heard of, okay, I'm from Imo State. I'm from social local government, but I don't even know my way how to get there. There are people like that right here in Nigeria, not to talk about people that were born in Sudan. They have lived all their lives in Sudan. They might not even know how to speak their own dialect. And they are being forcefully flown to Nigeria because of the crisis. And you now hand them 100,000 naira and discharge them. I just hope that's not the case. I just hope there's something more. That the 100,000 naira is for them to maybe find a way to maybe reach out to their families or something before they discharge them. They should be able to have a form of a camp somewhere they can keep these persons, orientate them on how Nigeria functions, the laws, everything, before they are sent out. It's okay, where are you going to? And monitor the person before he gets there. Now you've announced that you're giving this person 100,000 naira, and they are living where they are. With the security situation in this country, obviously it's going to be cash. Will they be mobbed because they don't know their way around in this country? If they are just released, they can be mobbed. The 100,000 naira to sometimes is a big hole. They're giving this for 100,000 naira. I met somebody on the road. Sorry, I'm looking. I'm one of the people that just came from Sudan. Can you direct me to somewhere? And this person is more than taking the money is taken away from them, because if I now sit on air, you're giving them 100,000 naira each, cash. These are the things they are supposed to put in place before carrying out. There must be a process of reintegration. What is the let-down process of reintegration for returnees?
How would you say this should have been approached by the government?
For me, like I said, when they bring them in, the money shouldn't be the first issue. It's to contact their families. They should be in one place to say, okay, do you have somebody? Okay, so person. We let with the family member. Know where the family member is. Are you comfortable with this person coming to your place? Why will we keep tabs on the person? This process you should be able to know the people you brought down to the country, to know where they are going to. Their safety should be your concern, not that they reach Nigeria. Even we in Nigeria are not safe when we move around. Talking of the people that have not been to the country for a very long time.
Another important thing I would want to point out is when we saw the issue going on in Ukraine, we see the support we're getting from international bodies and organizations. So far, we haven't really heard much. It seems as though this is not taking front page conversation or headlines on various international media organizations as well, or foreign organizations or bodies like the UN and the rest of them. How would you respond to it? Many would expect more from these international bodies to see how these things are taken care of, just as we saw with Ukraine.
I have always said Africa should stand up for Africans. You know, there are a lot of conspiracy theories, and I don't want to go into them, but for me, it has always been the case. It is not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. If this was happening in any of the European countries, you will have seen the whole hype and all, just as you said. But because it's happening in an African country, do they have vested interest in this country? That's number one question. If the Western world has vested interest in these countries, if they do they want the world to know about this vested interest or not? What is their vested interest in these countries? These are the things that propel them to either hide something or in the media or play low and carry out underground activities. So for me, I know very well that the Western world only comes in if they have something to benefit from that country. They only step in and make a whole hype about things when they have something of interest in those countries. And that something of interest, is it well known? Is it positive or is it negative? These are the questions that should be asked. I don't want to go into details because these are conspiracy theories that are flying around and all the rest. But we keep that by the side. Africa, it's time for Africa as a country, and as a continent rather, to come together to fend for itself and protect its own citizens.
All right, let's take this call first. We'll come back, Dandyson. This is from Choba. A caller from Choba. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, very good morning.
All right, you're choosing to be anonymous. What's your name?
Yeah. While we talk about, while we are concerned about returnees and how to integrate them, I really want to find out, has the Nigerian government taken stock of those who may have died? What is the casualty rate of Nigerians in that country? I say so because there is a video trending where some Sudanese were just murdering some human beings on the street. We do not know whether Nigerians are among. And so, what is? I don't know if your guest has an idea of the casualty rate, or indeed, if any agency has been able to tell us, because it will be very deceptive for anybody to tell me that Nigerians have not become victims of this crisis. So, what is the casualty rate? And then, Keisha, is it not very insensitive that the woman who is supposed to be in charge of those in diaspora is now in the team of those who are going to inaugurate the British monarch? Is that not a height of insensitivity? Because I understand that Advocate Agri has made the list of those who will be going to Britain to celebrate the coronation of the monarch. Is that not insensitivity? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, Dandyson, I'm pretty sure you heard that. Again, I would state the reports that we've had from the government is that no Nigerian lost their lives in Sudan. At the moment, we haven't had any verified information to counter that. When that comes, you would be the first to hear about it. But so far, there have been speculations and reports from different corners that, yes, some Nigerians may have lost their lives in Sudan, but they have not been verified. Dandyson, what's your response? Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Many expect more. Pictures of her on the plane that brought the Nigerians that came in have also been online, which means she's been a part of the process. But then, would you say that it's out of place for her to want to be involved or travel to the UK for the ceremony for the king?
Yeah. First, like I said, I asked the same question. Earlier on, before this caller also asked this question, we will not know the number of persons that have died until we start interviewing these returnees. They will give us the truth. The Nigerian government will not give us the truth. They might actually suppress it. Until we start having interviews, hearing from these returnees, because they will know their friends that are over there who have died. They will know their friends are over there who are still in Sudan. the ones who are missing that are accounted for. It is these returnees that have come that we should be talking to, not the Nigerian government. Because I believe you me, even if the returnees tell the Nigerian government, they will suppress it. Because they know they were not proactive about this thing. They know they were not proactive. So for me, let's wait until we hear from these returnees. And for Abika Dabi going to attend the coronation of the new monarch in Britain, for me it's not wrong. It's our place to go. If she has put everything in place, the structures in place for these returnees to come safely, she is the head of that commission. She does not need to be on the ground at every point in time. If the structures, the processes are flowing, all she needs to do is to give directives on how to carry out this process. And the process has already begun. So if it has begun and the federal government has seen it fit for her to go and represent the country, there's no harm in that.
All right, Dandyson.
Unlike if the other is the case, you won't also blame her. We are dying in this country, and yet our president, so what they said is rotten. Whatever happened, the body language of the president is what a lot of his appointees are doing. You heard when a lot people were slaughtered in this country, and our president was worried about people that were killed in another country. He didn't even send a condolence message to those persons that were slaughtered.
All right, Dandyson, unfortunately, time will not allow us continue. Thank you very much for your time. We have to draw the curtain here. Hello, Port Harcourt is next. As long as we get information, we'll send across.
Come on, everybody! Mom, dad, round, muscle, six packs, or one round pack. Everybody is welcome. Grab whatever you can find in the car. Exercise.
During the curtain, you heard from Dandyson Jaja there. Unfortunately, again, I'd like to apologize. We were supposed to have the NEMA Special Duties Director on the show, but attending to the returnees took much of the time, and he apologized that he wouldn't be available. So we'll see what we'll do to get him on the show, hopefully in the course of the week or next week, to give us more information and more details. But some of the messages that already came in on Facebook would be also Francis saying, in the same vein, government should provide good alternative means of livelihood to the returnees from Sudan. May God help us. And Namdi says, Nigerian government should make our country a better home. This one says, in Enugu State, in Namani, good morning. UN and other world bodies should urgently intervene into the crisis in Sudan with the intent of bringing lasting solution to save lives and properties. Roundface says, government has not done enough by educating its citizens on countries to travel to or not to travel to. Some of the messages that we have this morning. Well, thank you very much. This is where we wrap things up. This one says, Dear Presenter, it is really disheartening that government have to give returnees 100,000 naira recharge card and data. This clearly shows that there was no plan in the first place for the returnees. The government should put them in a camp to properly educate or orient them before dispatching them. There is need to carry out proper investigation to determine if those people who do not know their state of origin in Nigeria are truly Nigerians. Let's also put in mind security concerns too. That we need to really take a look at. This one says, how can a government that can't even fund her foreign missions take responsibility for our citizens abroad? That's another big question. If you look at some reports we've had in the past with the state of our embassies in some of these countries. Well, Ifemi Andre is my name. Thank you very much. Jude comes in next after the news at 9 with Kalada.
You are tuned in to 92.